Hi everyone, it's Capcan, and today we're gonna look at Brackenhide Hollow, Dragonflight beta dungeon preview. So I guess that's one of the new dungeons that will be available in Dragonflight, and it's located in the Azure Span zone. Brackenhide Hollow has 4 bosses, follows mostly linear path as we fight through hordes of decayed Brackenhide gnolls while freeing Iskara to scar NPCs. Oh, that's really cool. I don't really remember any dungeons with only with gnolls, and yeah, it's gonna be quite a bit of a turn back to the vanilla feels, vibes, and free in Tuskar's pretty cool as well. In this dungeon we explore the largest gnoll settlement in all of the Dragon Isles. Largest gnoll settlement as we attempt to reach Rethai, the gnoll leader who has discovered decay magic in her thirst for power, declaring herself the Decatriarch of the gnolls after mastering it. We must stop her before all of Azure Spawn is covered in rot. So the whole location is under danger because of the one gnoll leader who discovered some kind of decay magic and stuff like that. So that's like well, that's pretty cool, at least with sounds as it sounds. Let's look for some screenshots. Tents, nose, pretty large packs. So it gives you a feel of an open area, at least one part of it. Looks a bit similar to how Tol Dagor feels before you're entering the prison itself. Yeah, the stylistic is pretty simple, and there is gnolls on 2 foots, there is gnolls on 4. More screenshots. Yeah, it just looks pretty simple. I can't really call it bad, of course, because it has its own vibe. It reminds me a little bit about entrance to the Razorfen dungeons in the steppes. That's our boss, and it's pretty dark and grim, which I like definitely. So yeah, pretty cool looking. Maybe not the shiniest ones that you can find out of the old dungeons in the game, but still pretty cool. Alright, let's see Brackenhide Hollow Dungeon Journal. It's the largest gnoll settlement in the Dragon Isles and home to unspeakable danger. Decay seeps from the hollow, spreading among the gnoll tribes of the Azure Span and threatening to rot away all life. In the heart of the hollow lies the leader of the Brackenhide and the knowledge she gleefully shares with her withered kin. So first boss is Heklaw's Warband. Rira Heklaw and her compatriots, Gashtooth and Trick Totem, have risen up as a deadly warband among the Brackenhide. Their tactics are the reason Tuskar never travel alone, and their strength is the reason Rethai has them guarding the gate to the Hollow. Overview: all 3 gnolls of the warband assault players together. When any member of the warband reaches 30% remaining health, Trick Totem will cast Bloodlust. Upon reaching 100 energy, Rira Heklaw will call for a combined attack with Gashtooth and Trick Totem. The warband performs Trick Totem summons a totem, incapacitating them for 15 seconds. Gashtooth flings an alchemical bag of decay at the target, inflicting nature damage and blinding them. Additionally, increases physical damage taken. And Rira lines up a powerful charge with the player. After 14 seconds, she charges towards them. 14 seconds? She charges towards them and collides with the first player in her path, inflicting 71,000 physical damage. Alright, so that's probably one-shot mechanic. Something like that. Well, I'm not really gonna. Or do I want to read the tactics? Tricktotem will attempt to heal. Well, all right. Let's just read everything that they've given us here. Tricktotem will attempt to heal her allies with greater healing rapids. Okay, so Tricktotem will heal. Hex Tricktotem will incapacitate a player for as long as it survives, so you need to DPS down the Hex Tricktotem. Tricktotem will cast a Bloodlust when any member of the war band drops below 30 remaining health. Players who are marked for butchery. Gashtooth focuses on relentlessly butchering a player, inflicting 2900 physical damage every 0.5 seconds. Will take intense damage. Gash Frenzy continues to cause the target to bleed until they are healed above 90% health, so you need to, of course, heal them up to that amount. Decayed Senses causes the target to take massively increased physical damage. Yeah, and so you can you dispel it? Probably if it's in healers part. Tanks Rira will inflict intense physical damage to the first person in her path when she uses Savage Charge. Tricktotem will attempt to heal her allies with greater healing. Tricktotem will cast Bloodlust. Okay, so just abilities. No, too much of a detailed stuff. So Ring. Trinket. 97 main stat for agility or strength. Infrequently summons a null ally to assist you during combat. It may deal 7000 physical damage to your target and snare or stun it for 2 seconds, poison your target for some damage, or increase. Wait, stun for 2 seconds, poison your target, or increase your highest secondary stat by 354. So it stuns, and then it either poisons your target or gives you a secondary stats plus the secondary stat. Pretty cool. Some mace, clothes, pole arm, and probably heroic. Just the same stuff with better numbers. Okay. Second boss, Theamouth. Withered by decay, this once proud ancient has been dubbed Theamouth by the gnolls. As the rod settled into the branches, so too did it settle in the poor creature's mind, leaving a creature bent on nothing more than the need to feed and spread decay. So, okay, so that's it was on one of the screenshots probably. Yep, that it is. That's the Theamouth. Poor guy. Okay, close. And now over you. Theamouth assaults players and periodically expels decaying slimes, which burst when defeated. So he expels slimes, they burst, leaving behind a pool of decay, inflicting 11,000 damage. So you probably need to kill them in the right places. Upon reaching 100% energy, Theamouth pulls players closer using grasping vines. Theamouth lashes out and grabs players with its decaying vines, dragging them towards it for 4 seconds. After dragging players closer, Theamouth begins to consume the nearest player. Devours the nearest player, inflicting some damage while consuming, absorbs the next 38,000 damage. If broken, Theamouth spits the consumed player out. So you have phases when you have to DPS him as fast as you can in order to save the nearest player. Alright. Damage dealer. Theamouth continues to consume its target until its absorb is broken. Okay. Decaying slimes burst, leaving behind pools of decay. Probably you need to damage them out as fast as you can, or in the most optimal places. Grasping vines pulls in all players, and Theamouth uses consume. Alright. On the nearest one, Grasping Vines consume. Vine Whip inflicts heavy damage to players in front of Theamouth and knocks back all targets struck. When decaying slimes are killed, they burst. So for tank, you need to get his point of view outside line of sight, outside of other players. So other players should stay at the not at the front of the boss itself. Alright, so this one, the first guys, they have some variability. This guy looks pretty simple. in its tactics. And let's look at the trinket. 97 strength, so strength only. Impale yourself with a splinter, letting its slime loose over your body for 12 seconds. The slime protects you while eating away at your flesh, absorbing 50% of damage taken up to 43% and inflicting up to 43,000 and inflicting up to 19,000. Slime free while eating away at your flesh. So it inflicts, it's probably tank trinket. It inflicts damage upon you but absorbs twice as much, and you letting its slime loose over your body. Slime protects you well. Yeah, and you're not impale yourself with a splinter. You're not rooted while during this effect. I've thought at first that impaling yourself means you'll be standing in one place for 12 seconds. All right, so I don't know how it's used, how much use you can get out of this trinket. Seems pretty cool, but still, if you're inflicting damage to yourself, it's definitely useful to survive some big bursts of damage, but probably for Mythic Plus, where you need both damage. Maybe, I don't know. Mask of Imperishable Leaves, Ancient Rot Walkers, Rooted Shoulders, Crushing Buff of Deterioration. It's second mace in this, and it's two-handed now. First one was polearm and mace two-handed as well, but intellect. Okay. Themoth Gutshot. The sharpshooting gnoll has mastered the art of hunting, trapping, and killing her prey. Impressed by her abilities and cunning, the Decatriarch has assigned Gutshot to oversee and train the other hunters, and take out any interlopers that might venture too far into Brackenhide. Okay, let's look for her skills overview. Gutshot taps into her hunter instincts using Gutshot. Gutshot aims her crossbow and fires a powerful shot, inflicting 35k physical damage and knocking the player back. Okay. It doesn't say, at least here, which player does she targets. And Ensnaring Trap. Gutshot launches a trap towards random players. When triggered, the trap entangles all creatures and players within 5 yards and roots them in place. So, some kind of a trap. So, only one trap towards random players. Why players though? To keep players at bay. Gutshot will cast Meat Toss. Gutshot throws a chunk of bloody meat at a random player, causing them to smell like meat. So, something similar to shark attacks in I can't remember, in one of the BFA dungeons, sending her vicious hyenas into a feeding frenzy. The Rotfang hyena begins to chase the target that smells like meat, enraging itself for 10 seconds. While ranged, all damage done is increased, so you need to kite them. Upon reaching 100 energy, Gutshot will call hyenas to aid her in battle. Okay, damage dealers. Rotfang hyenas brought forth from Call Hyenas can quickly overwhelm the party. So you need to DPS them while you're kiting them if they are on your ass. Ensnaring Trap entangles all nearby players and hyenas when any creature sets it off. Oh, so the traps, they entangle hyenas as well, and that's how you probably can help yourself with kiting. Meat Toss causes all hyenas to fixate on the target. Okay. Feeding Frenzy, because Rootfang hyenas. So yeah, healers need to be prepared to heal way more if some hyenas reach to the targets. Ensnaring Traps at least sounds normal. Gutshot aims her crossbow and fires. So Gutshot is probably a tank buster skill, inflicting heavy physical damage and knocking the target back. Yeah, probably. Okay. And hyenas when any creature sets it off. Yeah. entangles all nearby. And so the ensnaring trap, it works not on one player. She tosses it to the one player, but still it works in AoE, which means you can aggro. You will get aggro of all hyenas in you. Then you proc that stuff, and they're all ensnared. Decatriarch Rethi, final boss. Rethi discovered decay magic in her thirst for power and declared herself the Decatriarch after mastering it. Like Decay Triarch, alright. She now builds the strength of the Brackenhide by spreading her dark magic among her tribe, so the Tuskar and all of the Azure spawn will rot in its wake. Overview. Rethi assaults players with Withering Rod. What does it mean? Withering Rod saps the player's strength, inflicting 1000 damage every 1.5 seconds and reducing damage done by 5% or for until cancelled. This effect stacks over the course of the fight. Assaults all players with Withering Rod. Upon reaching 100 energy, Rethi will cast Decaying Strength. Rethi rips Withering Rod from players, causing them to burst for 11,000 damage to players near them, granting Decaying Strength based on the Withering Rod, increasing her damage done by 5% per application. Rethi consumes an application of Decaying Strength each time she performs a melee attack, gaining more power based on the amount of Withering Rod she absorbs. So either you can dodge the Withering Rod, or it's some kind of a... you probably can dodge it, because this effect stacks means that you need some kind of a meaningful way to counteract the mechanic itself. Then she rips everything, she gets enraged, she strikes her tank harder, and then she pushes that Withering Rod again and again and again. Rod Bust Totem. Rethi summons a Rod Bust Totem at a location, inflicting 23,000 nature damage to any players at the location when it lands. The totem repeatedly casts Rotting Burst. Rotting Burst? Oh, wait a second. There was no Rotting Burst. Oh, so it's probably like bursts with this... with some kinds of waves of damage. Will continuously burst Withering Rod on players until destroyed. Okay, so you need to dodge them. You have to, and you have to probably kill them as fast as you can, and you probably have to dodge them, and don't stay close. Decaying Strength grants Rethi more power for more Withering Rod is present on players. Yeah, so personal responsibility all over this boss for every player. Decay Strike absorbs a large amount of healing on the target's track. Rethi infuses her claws with decay and strikes her target twice, inflicting 40 physical damage and absorbing 15,000 healing taken with each hit. Decaying Strength, okay. Decay Strike inflicts intense damage and applies a healing is absorbed. So that's probably the thing that will be cast on the tanks, I guess. Decaying Strength and Decaying Strength. So that's... oh, and loot now, yeah. Now, Titan training metrics 2 and 3, and here it's 4 and 4. Unfortunately, nobody can be told what the Titan matrix is. You have to see it yourself. Set to soulbound, item level of 356 to 366 based on crafting quality and required. Oh, so that's crafting stuff, which can go up to eye level 392. Yes, in both normal and heroic. A little bit weird that you can get it on normal, but probably chance of getting it is pretty low. Blightweaver's clutches, so hands, one-handed dagger, one-handed mace with intellect, and dagger for ALT users. Densified Ustesets, so plate, head, male legs, and the interesting one, trinket, ALT or intellect. Your ranged abilities, so it's for damage probably, the damage dealers have a chance to unleash a volley of rotting surge Dealing 700 damage split between enemies hit and decreasing their movement speed by 15% for 15 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Oh, so that's just a proc which can give you some AoE damage and decreasing movement speed of the enemy. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I guess, yeah, you can. It's maybe useful for kiting purposes and all stuff like that. So, yep, that's for the most part, that's it for the Brackenhide Hollow. Thanks for watching. I hope you will continue getting information about Dragonflight with me, accompanied by me, and have a good day.